Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Kuntres and starting Mammer Yud Dalad. Before we start, we'll get some tzedakah, Gedel tzedakah, Shmakar Sagula. And we're gonna have the Zchus of our learning, which Hashem should help all the Yidden in Eretz Yisroel, all the Yidden everywhere, specifically in Eretz Yisroel, and specifically the soldiers and the unfortunate hostages. Crazy Golos we live in. And we're going to focus on today, Omari ben Raaya. Hashem, to the Zchus of our learning and our applying of what we're learning, should have only good, achta v'chesed, only good, and also for Yosef Yitzchak and Simcha, should be safe and healthy. Yeah, let's begin. So basically what we said, in last Mammer Yud Gimel, we were discussing how is it possible that the Nefesh Elokis is able to overcome the Nefesh Bahamis? And ultimately we said it is because it's that's its whole purpose, and that's how it's made. And really it has a higher source, even though it's seemingly it's coming from a lower source, or even though it comes later. Its whole mission is to do this, so it must have the ability. Hashem doesn't give us a mission that's not possible, so it's able to do this. Now we're gonna get into this idea a little further. Also, we're gonna quote from Tanya a little bit. So it's a Tanya refresher. With this we'll be able to understand what our Rabbi said in Sech Nida. Before neshama comes down into the body, and it's sworn there should be a tzaddik and it shouldn't be a rasha. Be a tzaddik and don't be a rasha. This comes just before the baby comes out, and the whole 9 months the baby was learning Torah, the whole Torah. So just before teaches the whole Torah, and then it says, gives it a note, be a tzaddik and don't be a rasha. Now, it says in Yeshaya, souls I made. And our rabbi say in Rabbeinu, the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, in Perek Aleph and Beis. I want to quote this Perek Aleph and Beis. So we see here, first of all, we see by Yeshaya says Neshamas, which is souls, plural, I made. And also, what's this idea of an oath is administered, be a tzaddik and not be a rasha? And he's going to question this, because what does it mean? What does it mean to tell the Nefesh Elokis, be a tzaddik and don't be a rasha? Nefesh Elokis wants to be a rasha? How does that work? Let's see. So it says, so he's quoting from Tanya, Shehein shtei nefashos. There are two nefashos, two souls. You have nefesh achas mitzad haklip of sitra acher. One soul comes from the klip of sitra acher, which is of course a nefesh of Bahamis. V'hi hamizlabeshes b'dam adam, and that's included in the blood of the person. L'hach is a group to give life to the body. The nefesh of Bahamis, part of its job, part of its function is give us life. It is live, physical life. Like it says, ki nefesh habasar badami. But like it says, the soul of the flesh is in the blood. But it's called hamidah zerois. From the nefesh of Bahamis, from this blood comes all the negative middays, the negative characteristics, and negative nature. But you say this, from the four evil, four bad elements. What are these bad elements? Kas, anger, v'gaiva, and an ego. That comes when you say the age comes from the fire. Fire is all passionate, it's fiery. So having ego also wants to go up. So having that ego and that anger, negative, shouldn't have egos, shouldn't be angry. Then you have shenigva maila, v'saivas, and that it raises itself up. That's the fire. Then you have v'taivas, tainugim. We said and then you have all types of pleasures that come from water. Tainug, because water gives Water grows all types of pleasurable things. It eats pleasurable foods, comes from the water. The water gives it the ability to grow. So that's the taiva. So that's the characteristic of our taiva and our pleasures. Like water gives us tainug and pleasure. The hoilulus, and then there's the negative characteristic of frivolity and joking and like being very lighthearted. But now, of course, there's in all of these there's a balance. Like having ego is a negative thing, but having a self-worth is not a negative thing. And we're going to discuss this as well. I just want to make sure we don't miss this. Also, like being happy is good. The tanus is making fun of everything, not taking anything seriously. It's like someone's sharing something deep, and someone makes jokes. That's not healthy. It's not right. And that's what we're talking about. The negative characteristics of all these things. Visparus, tanus, visparus, b'dvarim b'telim, and also like talking about dvarim b'telim, like just stupid talk, not valuable things. That comes from Yished Ruach. It comes from the wind. V'atzvus, and laziness and depression. Yished Afar comes from the dirt. It's heavy. Being lazy is heavy. It's like, oh, I'm too tired. You know, when someone's depressed, it's like they can't move. They're not motivated. It's like the dirt. So that's all the negative parts of it. But being that the nefesh of Bahamas by a yid is mixed with tevera, so you also have a gam midish tevish b'teva kol yisol. Also the nature, the positive nature that we all have from our birth. Like being kind and merciful and doing kind things. Also come from this area. By yid, it comes. These things come. The nefesh of Bahamas comes with klipas nega, which means it's parv. It's not negative. It's not fully negative. It has a negative aspect. It also has a positive aspect. Sheish ba gam kein tov also has good. This comes from the tree of good and bad. So it has a mixture of good and bad. So nefesh Bahamas, even the nefesh Bahamas also has some good nuts. Now that's the nefesh Bahamas that we have. Like we said, neshama tanyasisi, I made souls. That's one soul. Then you have the next soul, which is continuing quoting from Tanya, from the second parak. The second soul within the Yidden. He Mammer is literally part of Hashem. Like it says, and he blew into his nostrils, a soul of life. And you blew into me. That's how neshama comes, not literal blowing, but this is a metaphor. Fast to understand. Nafach, when we say blowing, we're talking about from the inner. When we talk all day, it's easy. Blowing, like blowing a balloon. How long can you blow a balloon? You run out of air. Why? Because you take a deep breath from inside, like blowing the shofar. And then you blow. It's coming from deep within you. That's where the neshama comes from, deep within Hashem. From his inward, from innerness, from the inner depth of Hashem. Like we just said, that when we say it comes from inside, it's like blowing, which comes from the inner part of ourselves. And that's where our neshama comes from. Our nefesh kiss comes from deep within Hashem. Neshama is Yisroel. So too, just like by blowing comes from deep within you, so too our neshama is like this. All of machshava came up on Hashem's mind. Dechsiv, b'ni b'chei Yisroel, b'ni my son, my firstborn son Yisroel, the Yidden. We are like Hashem's firstborn son. Or like it says, "Bali matem Hashem lakechem." Sons are you to Hashem your God. Perush meaning, just like the son comes from the mind of the father. So too, we come from Hashem's chachma. In simple English, deep within Hashem. Hashem's wisdom is not like our wisdom. He and his chachma, he and his wisdom are one. And that's where we're coming from, deep within Hashem's wisdom. Just like within us, it's a deep place. And in simple terms, we're just saying, I don't have to get all into understanding these levels right now. But the main point we're saying that we come from deep within Hashem. That there's, just like within us, there's a superficial level. Is how we act in a public setting with people that we don't know. And then there's how we are in a setting of good, close friends. Or, and with family. And this is what we're showing. We're showing, so our connection with Hashem is like deep connection, firstborn son, deep within Hashem, deep connection, that good relationship. And this is what it means, souls that I made, this plural. The souls that Hashem made is that the nefesh lekis, nefesh hamis, that we have both of these souls. And the nefesh lekis gets taught the whole Torah. And it's the nefesh lekis that is being told to take this earth, that should be a tzaddik and not a rasha. Now it's going to ask the question. So we're saying the nefesh lekis comes from a deep place within Hashem. It's very connected, and it's taught the whole Torah. And before it comes down into the body, it says, we say, nefesh lekis, you're about to go, hey, nefesh lekis, you're about to go down into a body in the world, take an oath that you're going to be a tzaddik, you're not going to be a rasha. So what does that mean? Nefesh lekis is good. Connect with Hashem. It's sons of Hashem. It's much connected, coming from the inner depth, inner blowing of Hashem. You get taught the whole Torah. Doesn't have a Yitzhak nefesh lekis. There's no Yitzhak for nefesh lekis. So what's the earth that it's being told it should be a tzaddik and not a rasha? He's going to ask a question. Let's see. In a move on, seemingly doesn't make sense. Why is the nefesh lekis being given this earth over the nefesh hamis? The rasha aspect that we're telling the nefesh lekis don't be a rasha, it's not the nefesh lekis, it's nefesh hamis. Shemimenu boys called me this erois because the guy tanu. Like we said before, the nefesh hamis has the ability to do these negative things. So l'chayra should say nefesh lekis, you be a tzaddik, nefesh hamis, don't be a rasha. Pelilus, v'leitanus, v'tifarus, like all this frivolity and joking and boasting and anger and ego and all these things, they're not connected with the nefesh lekis. But divine betalim, atzlus and sadness and depression, all these things are for the nefesh hamis. So v'im keina ma'u shavush masbin is nefesh lekis alzem. So why are we getting nefesh lekis to make this earth? It's like you have a class, you always have the class clown. You have some, different types of kid. One's always making trouble. And you have always the good kid. The man teacher comes to the good kid. You say, hey, take an oath that you're going to behave. He's going to get very offended. Me? Like, go to the kid that's acting all wild. Why are you telling me? And it doesn't make sense to do that. It does seem weird. What's the answer? The answer is like this. The Shavua hu lashon Soveya. This Shavua, this earth, is also comes from the language of Soveya, which is like, it's like complete. Shehas Soveya in Yanoi and Asinas Koyach. So what it means here is that it's the ability. Soveya, which is like sort of satiated, but it means it gives the ability to be satiated, ability to be good. And that ability to be given from above, meaning the person is able to do his avodah in doing Torah mitzvahs. Just like begashros, when a person is satiated, satisfied, being that he's taken care of, satisfied meaning all our needs are being met. So once that happens, we're good. So we have the ability, we're in a good spirits, Allah. Which like says in Yirmiyah, Hanizba, Lechem, V'niyeh will be satiated, satisfied with food, and we'll be good. Meaning, some people in a bad mood, what do you call it? Hangry. Just give them some food, they're hungry. So you got to take care of all you need. You got some sleep, proper sleep. You ate properly, took care of yourself. You davened, ate a healthy breakfast. So you'll be good, and you have a much better chance and success in the day. So too spiritually. So what is it spiritually? It's the ability that we're given from above. We're given the ability. It's meaning to say that we've been given the ability that the nefesh of Bahamis won't be able to cannot get in the way. That it's the earth and it's the strength that the nefesh of has been given to be able to overcome and fulfill its mission. Meaning like this, and we're going to stop here, but meaning like this: the nefesh of Bahamis, the nefesh of comes down to the body, and the earth that is administered to be a tzaddik. It means, please, when you go down into the body, make sure that the body becomes a tzaddik. And if it can't do that, but the nefesh of Bahamis is strong, at least don't be a rasha. That's what we're saying. It's not about the nefesh of Lakiz not being a rasha. It's about the nefesh of Lakiz being able to mashbin soveya. That we're saying, to give him like a hug. You can do it. Go there, fulfill your mission, and overcome the nefesh of Bahamis, and make sure that person that we're putting you into is not going to be a rasha. And that's what we're saying. And we're gonna discuss and elaborate on this more. But what we're saying is, you can see how we contrast what we said before. Before we were like, how is it even possible the nefesh of Bahamis the nefesh of Lakis can do anything? And now we're saying the nefesh of Lakis has been given this special koyach. This is its mission. You look at the army and the soldiers going. They have missions, and there's a mission in the war. And the mission is to get rid of the Hamas. Yimach Shemam. And so too with us. Not exactly the same, because nefesh of Bahamis is a little different, but we want to get rid of the negativity, the negative of the nefesh of Bahamis, and we have the nefesh of Lakis, the ability. And so too, just like in the Israeli army, they have the ability, but they have to recognize that ability and fulfill that ability, and not listen to all the Eitzaharas of all the governments around the world telling them what to do. So too with us, all the Eitzaharas around us telling us what we should do and pulling us away. We should not listen, and we should conquer that nefesh of Bahamis and have nefesh of Lakis, make the right choices. Have a great day.